So, when we want to actually get close to Swami, we devise our own strategies and our own techniques and our own paths. And Swami also makes sure that we are on that path as long as we surrender to Him. So, if we want to therefore get close to Bhagwan, what is it that we have to do? That's the first question which many of us will be having. I would like to share an incident which happened right here in Tribhuvan Vrindavan. By this time, students would have already known that there was something called as Tri Sessions which used to take place. Tri Sessions means, after this Aarti was here, if Swami was in his physical form, in all likelihood, we would have all fallen one over the other and landed in the Jhula at Tribhuvan Vrindavan, waiting for Swami to sit on the Jhula. And the cherished position was behind the Jhula or beside the Jhula, where you could, if Swami permitted, gently move the Jhula once in a while. So these Tri Sessions were unique in the sense that they were exclusively meant for the students. They were also exclusive in the sense that you got to see a totally different dimension of Bhagwan. So it was during one such Tri Session, it so happened that apart from the students, Swami would also invite a few of the elders, senior devotees also to come inside Tribhuvan Vrindavan, and where everybody would sit and a Tri Session would take place. What is this Tri Session? Sometimes Swami would decide to give a talk. Sometimes he would ask students to get up and talk. So there are several things that used to happen during, or sometimes just prasadam would be distributed silently and we would go back. But it was still a Tri Session, because it was an opportunity to be with the Lord. During one such Tri Session, Swami also invited a few of the lady members, senior devotees, and one among those senior devotee happened to be the Central Trust member. She was a very respected elderly devotee, and she got up and Swami saw that she wanted to tell him something, so he gestured. He said, "Please come." Then she said, "Swami, I have some good news to share with you. Thanks to your grace, thanks to your mercy, my son has got into a very good position abroad. He is now online to settling down very well. Swami, all this is your grace." Then Swami just said, "Manchidi." And then she bent down and she said very firmly, "Swami, he was your student." Something very strange happened. Swami turned very sharply towards her and said, "He was not my student." There was a stunned silence. So the warden was looking at Swami because that person was in the hostel. Then the registrar was staring at Swami. Vice Chancellor was looking at the warden. Students who knew that boy looked at each other. Everybody knew that the boy did study here. He was a student of this hostel. Everyone knew that. And then the warden came forward and gently muttered in Swami's ear, "Swami, he was our student." Swami again looked at the warden this time and said, "No, he was not my student." There was, by this time, people understood that Swami was talking about a different dimension of this problem. This is not the routine question answer session that's going on. And then Swami told the registrar, Registrar, how do you certify that a person is your student?" So the registrar waited. A hint has to be given. Because some lesson is going to be taught, you always better wait for a hint, because you don't know in what direction the conversation is going to proceed. So then Swami said, "What are the qualifications to be called as a Satyasai student?" Then the registrar understood, Swami, he has to get admission in the university. Inka, Swami, he has to study and attend the classes, get the required attendance. Inka, Swami, syllabus will be there. He has to study that syllabus. He has to write the exam. And then we'll give a certificate identifying that boy or a girl as a student of the Satyasai University. Then Swami said, "Chusera, there is a syllabus, there is a test. After that comes a certificate if you pass the test. Similarly, I too have a syllabus. I too have my conditions. If you sit in this syllabus, study my syllabus, participate in my test, I will test you. After that, if you clear it, I will certify you that you are my student. Until then, you are not my student." This is perhaps the first time in my life that I understood the significance of what a Sai student actually is. Are we all Sai students? Yes. Why are we Sai students? Because we are the fortunate among the thousands who have applied and we have managed to get in here. But are we genuinely going to be called as Sai students by Swami? No. We can call ourselves, we are authorized to call ourselves as the students of Swami because we are in the registered rolls of the university. But will Swami call us his students? The answer is no. There is going to be a test which Swami is going to conduct. There is a syllabus which he has, and we have to follow that syllabus. We have to be ready to take that test. We have to be confident of clearing the test. Then Swami will tell, this boy is my student, this girl is my student. Until then, it doesn't come about. Now, this brings a very interesting parable over here. I can be miles away. I can be thousands of kilometers away. I might not even have visited Puttaparthi. I might not even have visited Vrindavan. I still qualify to be called as a Swami student. I can still be called by Swami, this person is my student. So next time when we say that we are Sai students, we are Swami students, let us ask ourselves how much we are doing what Swami's syllabus expects us to do.